we're existing at a time that our ancestors were not able to do, with things our ancestors were not able to do. You know, the evolution. Oops. The evolution and introduction of the printing press, just that simple idea of bringing written word into print so that it could be duplicated and replicated easily. That idea of spreading communication was a huge step towards bringing us to where we are today. And today, brothers and sisters, beyond the simple printing press, or telegraph, or even the telephone, look at where we are today. We have a small gathering here with me, and thank you for that, for those who are joined. We've got a couple guests already in the back. I've pinned the link to those who are present to the top of the chat, and let me see, there's a no here. Gotcha. The earlier today too, along the lines of the my idea that we can each bring better than we were. I was listening to some observations on I have trouble with the name, Dostoevsky, philosopher from a little while ago, wrote some incredible work that people are still discussing today, and that was observed as well. But the idea behind one of his works of the underground man, and how our minds can work to bring us into such states of despair where our intellect, through our arrogance, brings us to loathing. It's so remarkable. And I hope this makes sense, but the reason I'm bringing it up is intellectually, humanity has grown as a collective. We are much more intellectual than generations of the past. Greater understandings of biology and nature, and but there's also an absolute arrogance and ignorance that's throughout our society today. And that arrogance and ignorance, it keeps us divided and conflicted and at war with really ourselves. So today I'm hoping to offer some better and bring forward at least one of the guests. Welcome, brother. How are you
Howdy.
today?
I was in basic training with a kid whose last name was Korostyskev. Hold on, I'm going to start it like you. Korostyshev. And when you think of the letters involved to write Korostyshev, none of those letters were in his name. It's like he had to tell you that's what his last name was. You'd never read it like that.
Isn't that funny, dude? Thank
Yeah.
you. People
So
are, yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to officially announce the start of season 4, because this community we're part of has gone absolutely upside down. It's gone batshit. Uh, that's why we're kicking off Quintuple T Tuesday. Tom and Talcott takes Tuesday time.
Holy
Take
crap.
time Tuesday. Yeah, like 5 T's. Some kind of.
We're just going to overwhelm, dude.
You could probably make a swastika out of 5 T's if I really think about it. That'd be good marketing for the Quintuple T Tuesdays. Do you know that as we speak, there's a group of children that has blocked everybody to rant about them on their stream, and then that group they're ranting about has equally blocked everyone who might, bring unity or communication back to those 2 clubhouses.
The community is blocked.
Explains the slow Tuesday, though, over here. I kind of like it. It's kind of nice over here while the kids are fighting down at the junkyard.
So what I heard you say is that lines have been drawn and the peacekeepers are prohibited.
Less than 24 hours ago, I was being called Paul's mediator. He sent me a Cash App in jest of like for your panel contribution. Less than 24 hours later, completely muted, blocked from every possible communication for simply trying to Martin Luther King this fucked up community. And they all deserve it. I mean, we're like the wrecked kids in a divorce. Like, I miss some of the people we could communicate with and interact with, and it's all gone to shit because of these ego battles of the N word I don't want to overuse, and we know I can never overuse that one N word. I'll say it right now, Jack, but the narcissist word, I don't want to take the meaning out of that, even though we're surrounded by them.
Yeah, it's egoic nonsense. It really is. And that's what I've been learning about is it's our own egoic nonsense that actually makes not only our own lives challenging, but we make other lives challenging as well because the egoic nonsense is truly illogical. It makes no sense.
Well, I think it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense to put weight. Like, I think it makes sense because obviously hairless monkeys like to be right. They don't like to be shown that they're wrong. They definitely don't like to see that they're wrong in front of those who have bent the knee to them for their alleged correctness that they weren't. I get the logic of not wanting that to be outed, but the thing that's illogical is that you'd rather stack how many times you're going to get hit than just take that smack over the original thing. Like Paul, I'll say Paul because I don't
Oh,
care. He's only building the Jenga tower that must come down. Like, you can't
hey,
keep standing on your own bullshit and think it'll just never fall off.
hey, I think I got what you're saying and what the avoidance of guilt. You know, these human egos will do anything to avoid admitting they were wrong.
I'm going to give
and
you an opportunity to be a man and we can keep cooking, Jack. What we're talking about, and you don't need to go to jail, you don't need to get in the chair for this, but what we will be discussing is why some people can't get 2 minutes on here with you without you flipping out and backstaging them. And it's just a lighter form of what we're discussing in these other assholes. You're just like the welcome mat to that. You can be saved. You're salvageable, Jack. Oh,
the
it's
thing
coming
is,
over you already, isn't it?
the thing is I know
Uh,
perfectly well who
there's
I
always a
am.
thing. No, there's always a thing is. It's like the big butt Pee Wee Herman referred to. Everybody's got a big butt. You get it?
No, it seems people bring a lot of disagreements to me and
That's
imagine conflicts, and I'm like, whoa, where'd that
now
come from?
that is your custom thing. That is the thing that's custom to you, where we delve deeper. This
Okay.
idea that you can call it you're making disagreements, but in reality, we're just telling you you're wrong.
Well, this is the problem.
Here we
You're
go. I
the
didn't
well,
expect one channel to be civil today, Jack. Let's do it. You're on that button real quick. I see it. Our
you keep
whole swastika Tuesday is going out the window. We
well,
could
the
have been a
thing is,
flag. We could have had a cool hand gesture. Could have had
we
youth. We could have had the kids that are coming up under the system, call them the youth of the thing.
if you allow me to talk, we can still have a conversation.
Just keeping it bitty for the entertainment. But I know you're going to hit that button, Jack.
No, stop trying to create that, please.
Create
Here,
disagreements,
no,
aka
here. Can I, for the love of Pete, man, you'd understand me better if you allowed me to
I
speak.
don't worship Pete. I worship God. For the love of God, go ahead.
Oh, luck, oh dear. Luck, oh dear. That was the thought I didn't finish in the stream yesterday when I kind of mockingly saluted the neighbor's flag. I started to say my old mantra, and then I was reminded by the profile, luck, oh dear. I'm going to try and use that more often.
When you say mockingly, because yesterday I was here for that. I was talking to you. And you didn't say mockingly yesterday, but I said, Jack, you didn't do the uh mine Jack Fuhrer salute to the flag, did you? And you're like, no. But you just kind of like, since you were military and stuff, I thought you meant like you really maybe threw him a quick salute there. Now you
I
say
did,
mockingly. How
but
was it mocking?
because it's nonsense. It's silliness to even do things like that, in my opinion.
Do
So
you know what it is to live outside the borders of that flag?
I've experienced the world, Tommy.
Have you
Yes,
lost
I've
any
traveled the world.
appendages for that flag or maybe loved ones?
I know many people who have, you know what, they're carrying unnecessary trauma because of actions.
Honor?
Trauma.
Trauma is a thing that happens that we can deal with. I had trauma when thugs broke into my house while I was home. I had trauma when a SUV wrecked my motorcycle. I'm over
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
listen, Jack,
I
don't
wasn't.
hop on this blanket statement thing that your daddy had you under of all cops bad, all
I'm
army
not.
bad, all
Tommy.
flag bad.
Tommy, I'm not. See, this is
You
what I
tell
don't.
Tal that if he wants to be the sixth T, he needs to acknowledge the first five T's before we can put a sixth T in there.
Fuck, oh dear.
Then a seventh T for what we're sipping on when we're all sitting up here.
Oh, Tommy, you fascinate me, man.
I'm running laps around this whole community and I'm tired of acting like I'm not. It's not ego when I say it. I'm tired of being cursed with this full circle awareness of what's going on here because my mom worked with children and I've been in middle management and this is all like a cakewalk. My problem is I'm overstimulated with, do I put effort into showing how Truther Cop got wrecked by me? And I know you watched that. And all this shit that happened with Moose and Paul today, I could spell it all out. There's not enough time or hands on my laptop. And I'm like, how do I prioritize who to spell out and where does it matter? I kind of came here to get some Jack advice on that. And I forgot when I put the glasses on, he's got an alien Scully face too. And I'm like, damn it, I forgot they got two.
I don't have the alien Scully face, dude. If anything, I'm telling people, hey, wake up, man. Wake up. Um, Tom, you just said so much. I don't.
I know.
Hey, how about the topic, right? Becoming better, finding better, discovering better, creating better, allowing. How about that? Allowing better.
Okay. So I feel like even we are kind of we need to do that thing that basic training does, but not by the way that child thinks he's doing it because he has no qualification to do it. But there is an act of you must break down your bullshit self and then restart with legit self. And it's hard as a person that's been through that to convince people like you look egoic when you say, no, I've done it, and then try and convince the community that they could stand to have it done. Because the guy that says he's doing it, he always seems to be doing it. Like there's no graduates. Like no one has ever taken enough breaking down and insulting from one of these channels. Where's the graduate list? Damned if I know. Haven't found one yet. And he's still bitching people out. You'd think there'd be like a logical, accredited process to where drill sergeants just don't hound on people for years. It's just the early part of that 8 weeks, and it starts to go away as you become that better self. I don't
Unless,
see a lot of that cult becoming better people.
right.
They just keep culting.
That's the thing. Unless it's actually not what's going on. But the false narrative is proving to be nope, not true.
And half my battle is imagine being in like let's say it's a city where we're having this out. Imagine the city you're trying to help saying you're not even allowed to say the name of that cult because you're obsessed with them. And I'm like, I was Paul revering the whole time, and you guys said I'm obsessed with them.
That's kind of what's happened here too. But here's
Paul
the deal.
Revere is so obsessed with the British. Paul Revere, this motherfucker on the horse, he's so obsessed with the British. I wish he'd shut up. I'm trying to get some sleep. That'd be a good skit.
Tom, yes. So here's the deal, though. We just got to accept. Number one, there is some truth to the reputations that we get. We are sometimes, well, we all have our different patterns. So sometimes the reputations we get are accurate, and other times they are not. We've yet to learn how we deal with it either way.
Maybe part of my unspoken message I don't realize I'm saying is you guys can all put bags over your heads. We can all wear masks. We can all use funny voices, and it doesn't matter. You either understand this core line of like, yes, you walk that, you don't falter, and the rest works itself out. I keep being told I'm a betrayer and a backstabber. I'm like, my team is whoever tries as hard as they can to live those able words, and you'll naturally team under that. We don't have to wear a jersey. We don't have to have a secret handshake. You're either being legit and true and saying all those words he's wearing out, or you're not. And I see plain as day that he's not that. And then you got his old man side wizards trying to tell me that that's truth and I'm lying about the truth. It's delusional.
I believe that.
You got little snafu hobbits just saying shit to say it. It's like he's teamed up with Moose right now. If Paul would just be nice to him, he'd go over there and say Moose is the pedo supporter. It's ridiculous.
No, I don't see that. I really don't.
You don't see snafus just easy to get him. Just feed him and he'll follow you home.
You know, I don't. No, I don't.
Have you ever seen
I don't
Mad
see
Mystic?
it that way. So
Do you know Mad Mystic?
I know of.
Okay, you know how she'll like pop in and do the exact snafu thing of as soon as she's got the mic on the panel, it's just that straight, just snap, pedo, blah blah blah, and it just rattles off like the way snafu used to do.
Okay.
Nobody is pushing back when I say that's his baby mama that doesn't let him see his kid. But she will come online and still do snafu truthio crew.
Tom, serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I drop too much info about the guy that does what he does?
No, I don't see the relevance, really. I mean,
don't you want to help people?
Let me explain. Right?
Well, the relevance is you will post that dude up on your panel for like the better part of your 2 hours. And like let him blow smoke up your ass. Say you really get it.
He doesn't interrupt me as much as you do, Tom.
I'm trying to help you though. It's an interruption of love.
No, Tom. This is what you don't understand. When I am
here on the button when you talk like this.
When my intention is to share my value,
road to hell.
When you come up here and you just insist on talking over me and interrupting
me, is that all it is? I just come up here to talk over you.
What are you doing?
Have you been listening to the words or feeling your feels?
You're literally doing what I'm describing.
No.
Hey,
I'm talking to you like a grown-ass man and you're being a bitch. And speaking of bitches.
What's going on, brother man?
Well,
don't call me that B word. I hope you're talking to Jack.
Well, okay, so Tom, here.
Oh, we've had a long morning, me and this guy, Jack. Have a little leniency.
I don't care.
We could fix that really fast, Tommy. We could remove you from the stream.
Can't.
Well, we
can't.
Well, but I can remove you just by ignoring you.
Oh, no. When I say we can't, I say that ball is in your court as in you, Moose, but I don't think you have the ability to make the shot.
I do. I have the
And it feels
ability.
good.
Well, this is what I was wondering. Welcome, Moose. I know you were away for a little bit, but the timing seemed right. I was trying to point out to Tom that him talking over me and interrupting me was not actually helping me. And
Yeah.
and so what Tom lost sight of with Paul, with me, with probably others is we don't have to allow you around. But Tom, there's something in me that kind of likes you. Hey, Joe Cool.
What's going
And
What's
on,
up,
man?
Joe?
What's up,
How you
man?
doing, pimp?
I'll tell you in a second. I got an interesting story.
All
all
right.
right.
Go ahead, Jack. You were talking.
Well, here, I want to give Tommy and Illumitomi another chance and see if we can have a conversation.
Before you say something, Tommy, I want to give Tommy credit because he called out everybody's BS today. He called out all sides of it, and I thought it was pretty fair. For the first time, I saw someone call out the gorilla, and he got thrown out for it. So I just want to say
If the
respect for
gorilla,
that.
wait, hold the fuck on. If the gorilla is Paul, he calls out Paul every fucking other Tuesday. That cannot be what you're talking about here. That is not nothing big. He called out Paul all the fucking
No,
time.
but you got to understand the context of the situation. As the
Uh,
war rages on, the war that was never meant to happen, just because I rode to the gates of Talcottia and ate dinner with Jack, the next thing you know, there was like, knights at my door trying to string me up and take me on a horse,
right.
dragging me through the streets. So it was kind of a
Uh,
weird experience.
and
But
Tommy recognized and spoke out on it.
yeah,
That's what
that's
you're
all it
saying.
was.
All right, I got you.
Tom,
I'm counting to 10 and I'll just unmute whenever I like. Everything you all have said is what frustrates me, that you don't believe I've seen this circle longer than you've all have realized it's a community. You bore me. And I must love you to keep coming back and dealing with this over stupidity. Like,
please
I'd rather be called
please
the N
remember to
word than
count.
a pimp because
Tom,
that little boy is
Tom,
so oblivious. I'm counting to
Tom,
10.
please do. Thank you. I love you, brother. And I'm sorry that we're testing your patience. Please allow.
No, what you need to be sorry for is that you daddied me backstage and said, I can make the shot. As
Well,
if.
well, please recognize.
When you did that, go back to the first sentence we talked about. And that's the thing you're
Oh,
saying, this
wow.
foolish ego, Jack.
Tom,
It's
Tom,
illogical. It's
Tom,
illogical, Jack. Your foolish ego.
please allow yourself just to chill. I'd love to hear Joe said he had something to share, and I'd
The
love to hear what
dog's chasing the fly. You see the dog chasing the
I
fly.
see the dog.
He's
It's
totally
Okay,
entertained.
I guess 3 white men agree that Joe is free to talk. You are free to talk, Joe, because we privileged you to talk, right, Jack?
holy shit.
Well,
Fall
watch
for
how
it.
you say things. You could just say, Joe, what's your take?
Don't fall for it,
Please,
Jack.
please, Joe.
I
Yeah.
just got back from Denver. Literally, just got back. Got to this house where you always see me at. There was a pipe burst. Go under. There's a rattlesnake. I'll send you the vid, man. There was a rattlesnake under the house. Literally, just killed the rattlesnake. My buddy actually did it. I filmed it. I'll send you the recording and chopped his head off with a machete. And after his head was off while we was filming him, my man went to point the camera at him, and the head opened up. And it was still trying to bite the camera, Joe, with nobody. It's just fucked up.
Do you need
That's,
some nightmare material, Joe?
no.
Did you
I got
know
to.
did you know that rattlesnakes are evolving not to have rattles?
It's I don't know. In today's day and
This is my
age.
theory on why.
All right, I'm listening. Yes, I'm interested.
Before, with like creatures, that rattle is what would warn other animals stay the fuck back. Oh, the little boy ran and he's smarter for it. That rattle would normally warn uh I thought I lost Joe. Would
No,
warn
no.
creatures that are like, yeah, I don't need to fuck with that snake. I don't need bit by it. But
But in
humans here,
today's day and age, it
humans,
will attract motherfuckers. Is
yes,
where you going?
humans hear that rattle and they're like, I gotta get
I'm
rid
gonna
of that
run
thing.
to it. Yeah, it's logical.
So
Yeah,
the rattlesnakes that are reproducing and living longer are the ones not making as much noise, smaller
it's
rattles.
logical.
Yep.
Talk about that. It's not a stretch. But that was, and I had a great time. I was in, I've been in Denver for a week last night. They evacuated. I got the video of that too. A bomb threat onto Walmart in Aurora, and they evacuated the Walmart 2 days before that. Somebody threatened to shoot it up. They evacuated that
Yeah,
a couple
yeah, a
days before that.
Wednesday in Saudi
It,
Aurora.
yeah, it was like 3 Walmarts back to back to back over there. I got the video of one of them. I'm sure I did a ton. It's not everything we did. Oh, all right. We'll get along. I'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. Yeah, I
You
had a
ever been
great
in
fucking
trouble
time
in
in
Saudi
business.
Aurora?
In Aurora,
Yeah.
I have got a few videos up from Aurora, but I don't think any of them have been hairy.
When I had to live in my car like Brian O'Shea,
Yeah,
I got accused by a Walmart of shoplifting, and
yeah.
like getting up to the court case for that. Saudi Aurora rotates their DA every month. So all progress I would make with a DA the next month, I'd go back for the next like pre-stuff. It's a different DA. I got to start from the beginning again. And none of them would watch the video until my day in court, waiting to see the judge. And then there was still a new DA.
Sound
And
like you got an instant appeal if you get found guilty of something. Sound like you
no,
had
I
an
got
instant
him. I got
appeal.
it thrown out. I showed him how much time and money they wasted because on that last DA just before court, I said, "Listen, have any of you watched the Walmart security video yet?" And she's like, "No." I went, "Watch the video, and if you still want to go to court, I don't want your plea deal. Like, let's get it on." And we were all sitting in the courtroom, like, kind of twiddling our thumbs, and nobody knew we were waiting for her to finish my shit. She just comes down, rips the paper up, and says, "We're just gonna drop it." And I went through months of homeless, like sweating that shit. And Mr. Rights and Freedom's Court Talk channel wouldn't let me tell that story. And there is more to it, but I'm trying to get kicked out of here now because, you know, losing
No,
Reputation.
respect for the
I want
host.
to hear the rest of the story if Jack will allow it.
I won't grant you that. See, that's why you're a little boy because you think you can ask Jack
Tom,
for me to
hey,
tell you a story. You're a bitch. Moose.
Tom, look at your selfishness.
I'm blocked from his channel too. I could go tell it on his channel if he
But
saw
you're
me in the
here
chat.
and now. You're here and now, right?
Not for long.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm not
That's
making
what
a threat. You're
I
the
was
one that's
thinking he
making
might
the
just
threat.
jump off a bridge or something. We might have to send somebody out there to check on him. Shit.
I'm okay, Moose. I'm not the one that has
Hey,
to sell my
hold on.
property.
Okay, all right. Golly geez, man.
Jack,
doesn't
once
have to be
again,
a
you're focusing on how you feel in this moment and you're not listening to words.
No,
You have
Tom, you're focusing on words and not noticing this moment.
Oh, I'm very present, Jack.
You're
I want to
taking
know
out
how
personal shit on motherfuckers. You're taking advantage of Jack's time and show to do your
No,
personal
I'm not
attacks on
taking out
motherfuckers.
personal
That's
shit,
what's
Mr.
happening
Call
right now.
Tom a nigger. Call Tom a racist nigger.
What is your deal?
My deal is this whole community is a bunch
You're
of fucking
disgusting,
hypocrites.
Thomas.
I'm going to excuse Tom from the panel, and I'm sorry for what I allowed. Golly geez. There's some characters in this world. Maybe you got some characters in your own family or in your own local network. They sure make it tough to love, don't they? They just
It's
fucking
true.
push buttons. You know?
Yeah, I got a bunch of those, man. I got a bunch of those. Tommy included, man. I don't know. Tommy, though, I don't mind trolling him a little bit when he comes up and misbehaves like that. And I'm not really trolling him. I'll just point out the obvious a little bit here. It's pretty easy to know what Tommy is going to do. He triggers so fucking easily. He goes to the same shit. He throws out the N-word as quick as he can. He can't wait to do it. As soon as I hop on a panel, he's looking for some excuse to bring it to race. He does the same shit every time. I am not surprised. I am not. It is what it is at this point.
Hey,
He'll do it
let's move
again
on from
tomorrow.
Tommy real fast, Joe,
Yeah.
and let's move on to somebody else that Jack doesn't like very much. Nubs.
Right.
So Nubs and we communicated in private multiple times, just like me and Sly Shy, right?
Uh,
We've communicated all throughout this process. Now, about 24 hours ago, I was labeled an infidel, and my name was drugged through the mud and stuff by Mr. Paul again, right?
okay. Yeah.
And so I was in the chat or whatever, and I'm watching what people are saying about me, you know, all those hurtful things but I didn't let it get to me. I was actually like
Very
just
good.
trying to figure out who my allies are and who's my
All
enemies,
right.
right?
All
And
right.
I see Nubs. He's sitting there and he's doing the bobblehead effect. Yeah, you're right, you're right. And not one time did he ask what I ever did. Not one time did he ever say, hey, I didn't, you know, I was watching yesterday. I didn't see anything go on. Not once did he even like care about what even transpired. It was more about, hey, everybody's on this bandwagon. Let me get on this bandwagon and suck some dick
Wow.
for tonight. You know, sorry about that word. I'm trying to stop cursing.
Yeah.
But so him and Sly Shy both did that. So you know what I did? Instead of
Mm.
being like you, Joe Cool, I'm very callous. I'm very cool. I cut them
Uh,
off completely. I said I can't have snakes in my garden. You know what I mean? Unless they're like the garden snakes that like you know are harmless or whatever. Those are fine.
hey, wifey just got in. Hold on.
But can't have snakes in the garden. And so I don't think you should ever bring Nubs back up here because he's never going to come here with respect for you or your show or your message. It doesn't matter what your show is that day. He's going to come here and be like, Jack, remember that time we had a bet and you said that you wouldn't talk to me for a month and then I came here to bother you? All right, go ahead. You're muted, Jack.
Oops. It's been a interesting development over the past. Well, the past has brought some interesting developments into light. But what the future is going to bring, who knows? I still do have hope. I still do have faith in greater things, in things that maybe we haven't even learned about yet.
I agree
That was
with
one of
you.
the that was one of the cool things about what happened to me is just recently, and I'm not going into details, but recently came across what I imagined or considered to be an opportunity. I reached out, had a nice introduction today, and have hopes for where things may pan out. But life every day, guys, it really is. It's an opportunity to do better, to find better, and for ourselves to improve. It really is.
Did you see the bum? Well, I shouldn't call him a bum. Matter of fact, I apologize because I may be wrong with that one. Did you see the guy? Looked like a homeless guy leaning in the car, giving some dude advice for like 8 minutes straight or something, telling him what he'd learned throughout his journey. All right, it would have made my life easier had you seen it. Then you could have found it or something. It's worth checking out. I should have. If I did I text you and tell you something? I bet you I took something from there. If I texted you recently, so I probably saw something in there in that story he told, the testimony he told that applies to you. I know what you made me think of that. He did this is good shit. He talked about it is the journey. It is never the goal. It is never where you go. Like people, he's like, if you're not God's kid, you fail to understand that. You think it's the objective. You think that life's all about. So that guy is unwilling to do the work. He wants to hit the lottery and get to objective. God's kids knows that it's all about the journey. In fact, he says the goal changes. It's never achievable anyway. It's an illusion. It's all about the journey, which is all about it's the now. You must acknowledge every moment. He like talk to everybody you see. Blah blah blah. You know, maybe it's really good, Jack. You'll love it, bro.
I'm not sure where you started with that, Joe. If that's something you shared with me, thank you. I love that message.
Right,
Um,
right. I know I'd send you a little positive shit from downtown that I think is about your philosophy. I wouldn't doubt if one of those was from that speech the dude gave. It wasn't a speech, he was just talking to a guy.
Amen.
Actually, I probably could find that shit. You guys go
Hey,
You
ahead.
don't need to find it, Joe.
Let me find
Pat
it.
gave a message.
We welcome back, Tom, and thank you for your patience. And we also have another wonderful guest. Welcome back again, Nicole.
Thank you.
Nicole.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Just battled a snake. It was about like 8 feet long. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Joe, this is a nice lady. Have some
the
class talking about your Alabama black snake.
Talking about my cock.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, I say Chris Strokes proportions. I don't refer to,
Hey, Tom. I usually don't give you the race conversation, but
no, that's what I was saying that you're
I'm
projecting.
sorry,
You
but you
always give me the race conversation.
I'll wait till you're done, Tommy, because
Okay. Now,
all right.
do you see how
I'm not gonna
You said you were gonna wait till I was
I'm
done.
not gonna answer none of your questions. I'm not gonna divert.
I'm not asking you a question.
Oh, I thought you asked me, do I see how a thing happens? I hope you was talking to
No,
Jack.
I'm telling you, you see.
I'm not interested. I'm just waiting for your lips to stop moving so I could talk.
That's why you don't learn at your age, because you're just waiting for people to stop saying.
Actually, hold on, please. Can we disengage? I'd like
If
to.
I'll get a chance to talk to this nice lady that you.
Well, let's allow Nicole to. We haven't talked.
Let's allow Nicole more than Joe allows me.
What is your malfunction, dude? Welcome, Nicole.
I'm efficiently running circles around you blasphemers.
Holy.
And you keep dropping in people you think will run a pick for you. You can't run a pick on truth. None of you.
Anyway, how are you, Nicole?
I'm doing well.
Very good. What's on your mind, Nicole?
I just thought I'd join in. We were talking about we can do better.
Your mic's a little bit in and out if there's something you can do about it.
Yeah, so I guess it's just a retrospect of how we can always improve. We see that sharpens iron sometimes. And
Iron sharpens iron.
And Joe, your constant presence is in and out, just so you know.
Tom, your audio is pretty soft, Nicole. I'm not sure if you can adjust that.
That's her angelic voice.
There you go.
The microphone fights to pick it up.
Yeah.
It is her angelic voice. I'd also like to welcome Flo too, but please.
What's up?
Hi.
I got a new book today.
Nice. What is it on?
Dealing with
Dealing with destructive cults.
I don't know how good it is.
What'd you learn?
Well,
Flo?
I'm just like 2 pages into the first chapter. I don't know anything about it yet, but if it's good, I might need to make a little video, some content on it. But we're still in the discovery phase.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was self-fulfilling to where when De Laguna started that, like I jumped on it just to mess with them, but I feel like they've really grown into the role ever since the community kind of manifested that. I thought the way everybody kept calling me a crypto millionaire, even though that's not my facts, I'm like, this community is going to manifest me into a crypto millionaire. But I think that happened with the C word on them. They really do carry those traits.
Yes.
And we all know why you would hold that book up. It's obviously
not to keep interrupting, but we have a new guest. It's been a little while. Welcome back. What's up? Yeah.
What's up, guys? What's going
forgive us if we don't match your Oprah greeting energy.
Please, it's all new. Everything is a new day. We are
Except
all
for when
That's
it's
definitely
not.
not true, but in this, like,
Thanks.
I mean, that has nothing. My response has nothing to do with Cynthia either. But like, definitely, what you
This
just said
is
is wrong.
definitely not true.
I've seen Cynthia's posts. I guarantee you, same Cynthia.
Indeed. Oh my gosh, y'all. I was in this horrible car wreck last week, and
Oh, you
it's
sound
only
like
by
it.
the grace of God that I'm even alive today.
I don't
Hey,
get any credit. I'm the guy who swerved and pushed the car out the way so you didn't die. I get no
Oh
credit.
my gosh, y'all. It was horrible. Somebody rear-ended me. Then I rear-ended a car. And when I rear-ended the car, my car went this way. And an 18-wheeler came and hit the back of my car and made me do a spin. And then an SUV came and T-boned me.
What?
Oh, bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
Wait,
No,
wait.
I got the
Bullshit.
pictures.
Don't ever
I
say
don't
God
bullshit.
answers
Hey.
prayer.
What were you
I've
Hold
got
driving?
the pictures.
guys, don't be
Yeah.
so quick to doubt. And Cynthia, if true, I mean, holy cows, it is a blessing.
Yeah,
Oh,
how
was-
can I
you
believe
came
in
out
God
all
when
right?
you survive that?
So I don't know if y'all can see, but
Here.
there's the there's where I hit the car in front of me right there.
Because you
Show
were
me the-
following too
Show
close.
me the T-bone semi-truck
Here's
side.
the
That should
T-bone.
be. Oh my
No,
God.
it was the
That's gay.
SUV.
Is that an
That's gay.
HHR or something? What is that?
It's a cube. That's the I was
Oh man, well
T-boned.
that's you got
And then
lucky
here's
because
where
those are terrible.
the
Yeah.
18-wheeler.
You would buy one of those. That fits
see,
your
that
Cynthia.
car was
You're very
tricked
much a
out.
cube driver.
See, I was right calling bullshit. You see, made it sound
Hey,
like down the
stop.
expressway.
Okay.
She made it sound like it was a
Wait,
Terminator 2
she's
sequence, like on the highway scene.
She's a big girl, and I mean no disrespect.
Joe,
All you
get your
hear
ass
is
up off the floor and stop being mean.
all you hear is I don't
I can
I
see them in the
don't
sex
believe her.
mirror.
I'm saying she exaggerated the story intentionally. Yes, I'll say it outright without all the
No,
fucking
I
pretty
didn't.
flowery shit. You got us
No.
thinking an
was a-
18-wheeler T-boned you on an expressway.
No,
The car is
not an
supposed to be the size of a
18-wheeler.
Rubik's Cube.
No, the 18-wheeler didn't T-bone me. It clipped me. It only hit the back of and it made my car spin. And I was on the highway and it spun into the middle of the car. Like the highway's going this way and my car
must have
spun
been
that way.
scary. I would have never like even thought about all those details. I would have just been like, that shit
Well-
happened so fast. I don't even know what to tell you guys.
It was a hit.
He's
hit,
right.
hit,
He never
hit.
thinks of any details.
It was a lot, but the windshield broke me. The window broke out. My door was caved in.
I see the
just popped-
airbags deployed too. Yeah.
the side. I just popped out of the passenger side. I had a bruise. I went to the hospital. There was like I think 5 cars involved. It was a side kick or a kick that hit me. It was a brand new car, but they had a baby. But the baby was in the car seat, but the car seat wasn't buckled, and the baby ended up going to the hospital.
What injuries? Just a
Wow.
bruise?
The
You come
baby
out
like
of
the
it-
rapper?
You come out of it
man.
with
It
just
was a
a
newborn
bruise.
Let's
baby
go.
too. It was a newborn baby.
Tommy's being
What
stupid.
injuries did you sustain?
I just had a bruise from where that door hit me.
the
Flo
just
State
had a
can't see
bruise.
past the Jack.
That
symbol.
was-
You're
but-
lucky. You are very fortunate.
I'm blessed, but I'm actually having anxiety.
Thanks, Jack. You could put Moose up here.
It's like you can't see the movie, Jack. Will you move the Live Without Fear square for Flo State? Thank you. Jesus.
But it was scary. But I'm dealing with I'm kind of nervous to drive. I've already settled with my insurance company. I'm getting a good amount back on the car, way more than I thought. I thought for sure that car wasn't going to be worth much.
I'm not going after you, Moose.
No, I
But,
know. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My muscles
So-
are so small compared to his.
Oh,
It makes you wonder, like when you go through something like that, you're kind of like, why did you save me? Like, why am I really here? Like, it
I
really
did
makes
not
you
feel that
think.
way at all.
'Cause
When I
this
was
is the devil's
drastically
world.
heavier injured and went through a much scarier thing that I don't even have to sugarcoat
Um,
for people to be like, God damn,
so I'm
you're just
out of
having a little
curiosity.
PTSD,
When it,
Cynthia. It'll go away.
did time slow down or speed up in the wreck for you?
It slowed down. That's how I was able to remember everything. And I just remember the hit. And I didn't know it was an 18-wheeler until I got out and everybody ran to my car and they were like, that 18-wheeler hit you. I was like,
You are lucky, bro.
bro, like it's scary.
No
It's
motherfucker
scary.
get T-boned and hit by an 18-wheeler, and
But thankfully he just clipped me. That's
and
what
then
made
you
my
say
car.
another truck though T-boned you, hit you in the side of the door. You had got an impact on the front and the back. And you walked away.
What vehicle are you going to get next, do you think?
The same fucking kind.
Don't do that.
It's very safe.
I'm doing a Nissan. Well, that's the reason I had bought the Cube, is because it was voted one of the safest cars. Yeah. That is actually the third one I've owned, and all of them I've been hit, and all of them I've walked away from, but they don't make them anymore.
I was about to ask if you want to drive around having everybody thinking that you're an incel because of that stupid ass car, but
they don't make them anymore because they only sold 3.
You can get what you want to think, but Mama walked out of that wreck. But I'm thinking about a Juke.
You know, you could.
I want to stay in the SUV.
We rolled a Volvo when I was in college, and all 3 of us got out of the upside down car just perfectly fine, not a scratch on any of us.
What about was the Volvo expensive to repair the changes and stuff?
I mean, the Volvo was totaled, but I think it's more of a make than a model thing.
What about
hey,
the
Jack?
Forester?
Jack, have you ever been in a accident, like a car accident?
Subarus are good. I don't like them personally, but they're good cars.
I've been in.
Well, I'm not a car person.
I know one accident Moose's parents had.
Hey,
I've had a car for many years. But what's going on with you, Jack?
Well, yes. Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, did she remember to ask what's up with you, Jack? Good going, Cynthia.
No, she forgot that it's Talcott Tuesday and it's about Talcott today.
Jack
well, I was listening.
Jack, what kind of car do you drive?
I'm not raging on her.
Yeah, Moose, I heard all those things you said about
Hold
me.
on. Since today's a new day.
I don't know why Moose keeps showing up everywhere. He's got a channel.
It's a new moment.
Yeah.
It's a new moment. Same people. Like, listen, Jack, this thing about a man never steps in the same river twice. Yeah, that's like very detailed semantics. Do you think in the last 24 hours you're some fresh new Jack Talcottia, or any of us, even the sweet old lady? Do you think any of us have just just grown and changed in 24 hours?
Hey, Tom.
Finger on the button, please. Yes. Live out your hypocrisy.
I am so ready to.
I know.
I'm not
and this angelic voiced woman, despite me being.
So that we might all be able to participate in conversation, I've chosen to put Tommy in the back for a little while.
He basically demanded it.
You know, Cynthia, hey, whether exaggerated or not, I'm sure that was a very impactful experience for you. Okay. Well, physically and that
was
mentally,
my fault.
Emotionally.
I put that in his head.
Well, you did.
It was, well, okay, so like, and
I'll stand by it, by the way.
Like the week prior to the accident, I had to change the radiator. Like my radiator blew up, and I'm actually going to get 30% of all my repairs back from that on my insurance. But when that radiator, like, it seemed so hopeless, and I was like, God, why am I even here? Like, you just put problem after problem after problem in front of me, and they always seem like they can't be defeated. Like,
the journey.
Just take me away.
Series of problems.
Yeah, I'm like, my kids are grown. Just take me away. And then I'm sitting there on the side of the highway thinking, you could have really just took me away. But you didn't. Like, that's a sobering thought. Like, I'm still here for a reason, God. And I was dumb to even say that, because it could have happened. Like, it could have happened. So, because it was on the highway. Every day.
Well, and this is what our egos do want to take for granted. Like Tommy arrogantly wants to say, are you trying to say you're not different, or I'm not the same? It depends. It's all based on perspective. It's real simple for us in this world of chaos and conflicts, all these expectations and schedules.
Absolutely.
It's really easy to lose sight of what is good, what is important, and that question, why am I here?
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that there's angelic forces or something of good that has kept me alive. There's no doubt in my mind.
Jack, if you could have your heart's desires, the very short version, because I'd like to hear other people's, your desires, what would your day look like? The short version, please.
Every day like it is.
You could name the desires. Go ahead, continue. What would you can have your heart desires?
The
We start
freedom
with
to
massage.
do as I choose, how I choose, and that's actually how I live. I spend a lot of time in massage and meditation, self-reflection,
These are
imagine.
the things, if you could have your heart's desires, these are the things you would ask for that day. Some moment of meditation, massage. These are the things. All right. Cynthia, if you could have your heart's desires met, how would that change your day?
I wouldn't waste time so much. I wouldn't waste time scrolling the internet. I would be more focused. Like this is really
So your heart's desire is to be more focused? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, to be more.
Yeah.
This has kicked me into focus gear.
I didn't ask you about
Huh?
I'm sorry. Your heart's desires. Your heart's desires. What are your heart's desires, Cynthia? If it could be granted to you.
My heart's desires just to be successful. Be successful in
what's that look like? You just got me interested. What's that look like?
Successful to me looks like the reputation that precedes me. That before I even step into a room, people automatically know that I do business good and I'm well respected because others have talked about me respectfully and they see my work's been evident.
All right. Anybody else? Your heart's desire. How would your day change? What would you ask for that day?
Oh, where'd you go?
I would ask for you to have better internet.
It was really bad in Denver, bro. I'm just saying.
I would get my daughter out of school more. I mean, she would basically, school would not be compulsory.
Meaning, you'd spend time with her or just her out of school?
Both of them.
A little bit of both.
Like both, yeah.
But you think that school is, yeah, that's what I thought you were going with that. I feel you. That's your heart desire look like. That would translate to spending time with your daughter.
I mean, I would prefer to spend more time with her and also have her not spending time there. So it's both sides.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How about you, Nicole?
I know I'm working towards my heart desires. My book is just about to be released on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
Yeah.
I have a first edition children's book that I wrote and illustrated. I work
and illustrated.
Nice. Yeah, and illustrated. And I've worked, with hospice with people that are on the verge of transitioning. So I try to hold that space for them because I know that's the last sacred thing that I can do while they're in the physical body. And, I love being, at home and with my family. I would love to travel more.
Very
and
good.
I'd love to see more of my holistic business growing. I have an invention for that.
A ballistic business?
Yes, holistic is mind, body, and soul.
Oh, I thought you said ballistic, like ballistics.
No, not as in guns. No, but
I was about to be impressed.
Yeah. So, I'd like to see that take off in distribution and see that open new doors for me. I'd like to have a center where people can come and heal and have a small bed and breakfast.
All right. Here's the second part of that question. How would you like to receive those things. We could poof it into existence, or you could take it the long road where you learn the lesson. Which do we do?
Well, I feel like I've taken the long road already, so I'm ready to have it poof into existence.
All right, that was a good answer. That was a good answer.
Because
All
it's
right,
taken a lot of training to get where I am right now.
all right, all right. Go ahead, somebody else.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
I want to.
I love nature. I love seeing things, come into its beauty and fruition, and see people work together and love one another as they love themselves. That would be just a wonderful experience for me to
Would
hear.
anybody choose the long route? Would anybody not poof into existence?
I would choose the long route.
Very
I think I
good.
would too.
Very good.
Hmm.
Jack's
that
like, I
brings
don't
up-
know about that shit, baby.
Well,
The journey is the joy.
Here,
Yeah.
hold on. True, the journey is the joy, but the longer the journey, the less time at the destination, right? So I have the belief, I have the hope. I, like Nicole said, golly geez, man, I have been taking the long path, and my life has been pretty challenging. I've gone through a lot of darkness, but I've often wondered, what if when I was drinking, someone pulled me aside and said, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing to yourself?" Or said, "Hey, these people know how to overcome that which is holding you back." If someone would have done that with me,
Nothing would have changed because you're the cat that likes to poof. You're not the
you
cat who
don't
likes the
know
long
that.
way.
You don't know that. I don't know that because no one fucking offered it to me.
It
But
probably came
I
100
want
times a
to.
day and you couldn't see it. That's more likely, Jack. You
That's
thought
possible
someone was
too.
yelling at you or attacking
That
you.
is,
Someone, yeah, it was
well,
buried in there somewhere.
they were telling me to do better. They were telling me that I had a problem. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I've got problems. No shit. I should do better. Insulting me and fucking criticizing me doesn't do anything to get me to change. I'm stubborn,
Chris,
Their approach could have been better, I guess.
who are you talking
Well,
about? So
Here, for the context though of taking the long way or the short way, I think many of us have taken the long way, and we have the skills, the understanding, the ability to offer people a hand, right? So that their long way may be shortened
Yeah.
by what we've got to offer.
Yes.
And I think if we do that, we'll change this world.
All right. Thank you guys for indulging me, man.
Joe, those are great questions. I love the questioning of the future. That is what a responsible, mature, authentic human being can do, should be doing. Questioning, what do I want for the future? How do I want to get there?
I wasn't really asking about the future. It was a heart check. It was a heart check, right? I was already trying to see in my head, whoever says I want millions, and you guys are too smart to say that shit. I didn't expect no one to say it, but the closest to that person is in that direction. And the guy who says my day is perfect, I'd ask for nothing else, has achieved the way it needs to be. I just wanted to see what niggas fell on the scale.
I think if somebody says that, they're lying.
I
do.
Wait.
Like, if you can't think of anything that would make your life better, you're full of shit.
All right.
Potentially.
Wait. You got the right cat on panel. Because I honestly think not only I couldn't think of nothing I asked for, I think I get way more than I'd asked for already. Like the shit I get.
It's a great attitude. But if I said, is there anything that could be better in your life? You wouldn't say, I don't know. I'd have a bigger mirror on my ceiling to watch.
No. Heart's desires. Heart desires. That's why I chose that word. I didn't want, heart's desires. Your heart desires become. I got a really good chick. I got really good friends. A lot of them. I get to see shit. I get to meet motherfuckers every day. I get to do these things on a daily. I get to control my fucking life, my job. I got no fucking boss. I'm my boss. Everything I ever wanted. It looked like I get every moment of every fucking day. Not only that, then it kicks in crazy shit like gorgeous sights and sceneries and exciting people and conversations. And you niggas, right? It's as hard as you niggas torture me, you know,
We
you
just
niggas.
got the black card.
you cats are you're blessing, man, right? You cats do well. And this shit, if I can vouch for you cats on the other side, and I will, and you cats know I will, I say you did well.
All right, well, that's a fantastic
Thank you, Joe. I
perspective on it.
appreciate you,
Like,
brother.
that was great.
Okay.
I was about to bring Tommy back up, but he seems to be ready to engage in more conflicts and attacks. So I know there was encouragement from the chat to bring Tommy back up, but I'm kind of not feeling it. I'm enjoying these conversations, right? I love the idea of kind of a heart check too, Joe. That's interesting. And something we can all do for ourselves. What is it our heart desires?
Yeah,
What
think
is
about it. If you think about it, right? You guys said some good shit, right? I wasn't expecting some of the good shit. Flo said, time with his daughter, how honorable was that? I wasn't expecting that to be on my scale somewhere. You know, I had to readjust with that shit. Y'all had some good shit. No one went to. Actually, if I'm being honest, and don't you're gonna feel like I'm beating up on Cynthia. Cynthia said success for her. I said, what is success? She said, me doing it my business. That was the furthest on the scale that I saw going that way.
It was also early in the answers too.
I don't
But,
think I fully support people having financial goals like that. Like, I think that people wanting money and resources gets looked down on when it should not. You can't, if you have anything you want to accomplish, you don't, I guess, and theoretically you don't need money to do it, but you can sure do it a hell of a lot better and a hell of a lot more efficiently if you do. So anybody who believes in whatever higher aspirations they have should also believe that they want the resources to accomplish it.
The resource to help other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Again, I'm failed there.
Come offer me disagreement. I can see you doing that look.
no,
or did I misinterpret it?
no, yeah.
You
Go
know,
ahead,
on this internet, on this content creation, to really be successful at this game, this business, this hustle, whatever we want to call it, you do have to have a team. And part of my success is being on the team. I'm personally never a person that goes up on front of cameras. It's just over here. Do I ever cam up? In other places, I'm only known in the chat of producing and whatnot. But for me, like, success isn't me being successful. It's me seeing an idea that I had, that I created, that I gave to other people, that I encouraged other people to have, to see that them be successful. To me, that's success because I helped them achieve that. I was their encourager. I was their comforter towards that. I was their
what business do you do? What
Hmm.
business are you in?
Well, I have a job, but I produce a TV show, a YouTube show.
A YouTube show. That's a business you wanted to be successful, yeah?
Yeah. And then
what are you doing on a YouTube show?
Well, I'm writing something off of it. And so now my little show's starting.
Can you be a little more specific? What are you writing? A little more detail.
Okay, so the gentleman that I helped produce his show, he has a show where he talks about current topics in the hip hop world. And then he kind of breaks it down, and then it's regular topics. But what's kind of unique about him is he's actually...
Girl, wasn't asked about him.
No. But he's a street guy through and through, from birth to now, like constantly in the streets, constantly doing.
So you're writing about him?
Well, him and I worked together. We've worked together for 2 years, and Joe, it's hard to take somebody from the streets whose idea of handling a situation is, let's just go do a drive-by. And I'm like, you can't do that on the internet. It's a different game on the internet, but you have such a different insight to these problems that you bring about great conversation. So the show that I'm writing is about an older Christian woman who just believes in God and loves her dogs. And she's trying to help this street guy become a YouTube success, but
I got
he
you. So
doesn't
you're
want to stop cussing. He doesn't want to
Autobiographical
stop
then.
smoking.
I wanted to know if it was if your business was based on helping motherfuckers, and it is.
Well, yeah, I guess I do his edits. I do his edits, and
No,
then
no, 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 no,
edit.
not helping like that.
Oh.
If you're successful, if your business model is successful, and it shows a thing of someone helping people, so your success, so shit, if you're successful, that touches a lot of people. Like I try to be successful in my shit, so I can touch a lot of people with my message.
Feel free to share the name if you want, if it's
Well,
available.
it's a working title. That's part of the story because
Oh.
he's always telling me I have the worst title. So it's
All
like,
right.
"What's up,
It's not
Cynthia?"
ready.
and Trigger Man present, and then there's a title and it's scratched out and it says working title. But it'll be on my show. It'll be on my page.
So you're making a YouTube show?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Kind of think of The Office.
Well, no. How many
Like
people
think
out
The
here are
Office,
making a YouTube
like I'm
show?
filming it, like somebody's filming me, and I'm gonna make it like, "Oh, guys, we're gonna do such professional work," and then him and I have recorded conversations where he's like, "I'm not doing that shit," and then I'm gonna try to be like, "Well, we're coming together with the plan," and sugarcoat it. So think of The Office and comedy.
You know.
Oh yeah,
most of the
comedy.
time,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
in my experience, people from these streets, they don't like being filmed.
Yeah, and
Well,
when you
he-
say
well-
street, don't enable. He's a fucking criminal.
Well, he's
Sorry,
never
not
been
sorry. You
convicted.
too, Joe. You said it
He's
yourself.
never
You
been
never lived
convicted.
anything but the streets, and that's why you're old and stupid.
And he's
And
well,
your questions
Stop.
suck. You're
Stop with
no
the-
authority to say, oh,
why
if
are you
people
so
answer this,
self-sabotaging,
then
Tommy?
this.
Yes,
Well,
that
see,
was
you're
gonna
always
be
getting
my
in my way.
comment. All that time I got go flow when he cut me off. That was my comment. I was gonna say, careful what you say, cause
Yeah,
something
smoke a
along those lines.
blunt, weave like you're in a church service and somebody's singing and stirring you.
So
Tommy, what's
Hey,
your
I got
goal?
some for the angelic lady. Am I not giving her enough attention? Ma'am, no matter how sweet your voice, there's holistic stuff you believe that I'll say, sorry, that's not true. There, I got her. Are you happy? Boom, burn. I burned the sweet old lady for you.
I'm curious
You've
about
got
what
a
your agenda is, because
disagreement.
you come up on panels and you just go at everybody, but then when you
No,
get kicked
no,
out,
you're
you
perpetuating
invite
the
people
false
back
narrative.
in.
You're
Huh?
perpetuating the false narrative because
Which
even
part
though
is
you're getting
false?
along with some channels, you are equally one of these lying shysters playing the game.
Okay, that's fine. But which part of my narrative about what you're doing is false?
I
you
don't
said
just
you're
go
not
up
sure
on
about
panel.
what his
Oh, I'm
agenda
sorry, this
is.
man cut me off like I'm
Today,
not
sweet,
today
privileged
that's
or something.
exactly what I've seen you do since I got.
Is he asking you that question, Joe?
Okay, well, never mind.
I'm trying to answer your question, Flow State. I'm making sure you're asking me.
Sounds like you're complaining.
No, I'm creating disagreement. See,
Right.
that's your game, Jack. Like I said at the beginning, you're
My
putting these
game
words.
is-
The way Cynthia said street, the way Cynthia said street for an outlaw who's not playing the society game, you also substitute words that don't convey what you're trying to say.
Flo, isn't his agenda just attention? Simply that.
Are you asking Flo my agenda? 'Cause
I mean,
I'm in
if
the
it
square
was,
right
you'd think that
beside
he
you.
would work a little harder to stay on panels.
Oh, you guys are doing
But
the
I don't. So
Cynthia
I don't know.
thing
Actually,
where
that's
you
why
have
I'm
a
asking him.
conversation about me in front of me like I'm your kid.
But he's like Cartman. He's like skinny Cartman.
Did you guys?
Flo, you're absolutely right about not being filmed. So that was one of the things that him and I talked
You
about.
turned my fucking microphone down and had a conversation about me when I.
It's the only way we can have
Tommy's like
conversation
the
at
girl
all.
that all the beautiful
That's
girls.
what I mean. Simply, good, bad. He doesn't give a
Where's the
fuck as
man?
long as
Where
the
is the
conversation
man besides me
is
on this
him
panel?
talking. He'll be a good guy if the conversation is about him. Otherwise, he'll be a bad guy
Go
to make the conversation about him. It's that simple.
He's
There's
like a
more,
girl.
but
Like if there was a group of girls that went, Tommy would be not the hottest one in the crew, and so while the other girls were getting all the attention, he would be the one like getting
yeah,
things.
that dude, that chick. Yeah.
The one that
Yeah,
the
I,
girls stand by
and
for comparison, right? That friend that they bring along and
yeah.
To
not
put
ugly, but just
You're
a
down.
little
gonna have
bit
to
like,
tell your
you know.
friend, hey, bring somebody for Tommy, okay? Because if we don't,
well,
Tommy's gonna act up. Bring
They sort of
somebody.
sabotage her makeup a little bit, like, oh, you should do this stupid ass thing with your
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it works for you because of your skin color. Wouldn't work on me, but you go ahead.
Yeah,
here's
yeah, you gotta
here's
like
the thing,
make sure
though,
Tommy, like you gotta help Tommy get back.
Cynthia. Here, the thing is coming up with comical descriptions. It's fun. This is really our life, though. This is really our society of today. Um,
Might
not
as
to
well
be the
enjoy it.
Debbie Downer, but what the hell are we supposed to do?
Have peace in spite of chaos.
That's my goal. Thank you. That
Yeah,
is
I
what I hope.
I wanted to share with you. There was a poem that I wrote, and I often share this with my clients that I'm caring for, just to remind them, no matter where they are in their life, to keep themselves young at heart. The childlike qualities that have that innocence, and it goes.
Keeps you healthy, I think.
Yeah, it goes to see the world through the eyes of a child, to dance on clouds all whispered and wild, to derive 1,000 words from one single picture, and to see mankind as a colorful mixture, to realize dreams are all within reach, to experience life, to learn and to teach, to give nothing a reason for me to grow bitter, or lose its luster, color, and wither. For this is what it means for me to be young, to never let life and love go unsung. And so, after all is said and is done, I'll have known what it meant for me to be young, to see moonlight dance from wave to shore, to be content with life and not ask for more, to find
Ooh.
solace in the first fallen snow, and to find joy and fulfillment in watching things grow. For this is what it means for me to be young, to never let love and life go unsung. And so that after all is said and is done, I will have known what it meant for me to be young.
That was dope. Who
That's
wrote that? Where you get that
beautiful.
from?
I did.
You
She
wrote
wrote.
that? That is exactly what I think that we were talking about here. Oh shit, I'm a loser because I've been smoking. But the whole time you saying the poem, I'm like, yeah, that's the topic of the day. No, I lost it. But
Singing the song of love. I love
oh
that.
yeah, it's just let me think. She has some really good ones in there.
That was beautiful, Nicole. And I'm a life path 3, so I'm forever a child.
Yes, that's wonderful.
11, baby.
It's always
I don't know anybody else. I just know 3.
Yep.
Oh, you were
I would just
saying
like
be content with what you have.
I would just
And
like to
that
acknowledge
type of
really
shit.
quick that I'm a master number, and that's pretty dope.
That is
Mostly because of the title. I don't really know what it means that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when I was looking at cars, one of the cars I was like, this is designed for the sleek young people. The text, I was like, ooh, it's for me.
They weren't saying that about a cube.
Nice.
No, it was the Juke.
Oh.
The Cube's cousin, the Juke.
I don't know why they would say that.
Beyond the car, Joe, there was something you caught too about observing the being content
Yeah,
in that poem.
that's what her point was talking about. You find your heart, and as far as your heart desires, when you're content, they totally fucking change. And small things like looking at a tree, these are the things your heart desires. So you are content. Closer you get to God, the more you content you are.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And finding contentment within the moment with whatever is around. Guys, that really is
That's the hard part.
This life is a mind game. If you can identify the patterns of your mind, paying attention to the warning systems within the feelings,
But contentment isn't it's a nice byproduct, but it's not the base. Like you need to have meaning, really.
It's where you find your base. If you can start from a
No, it's
place of wholeness, then you recognize that anything beyond is,
but you
that
can't just if you're living in a way that doesn't breed contentment, then you're just gaslighting yourself, and that's delusion.
it
I just want to
requires
sit in for you guys to
honesty.
talk
Honesty is
around
the
me
key.
again.
I'm glad
Well,
you're back to blab up right in the middle of our conversation.
Oh, the conversation I
we
couldn't
missed
talk
we
on?
missed not being able to talk. That was great before, and I'm glad.
Well,
that
you
we
should
can-
do like Cynthia, and whenever you're done talking about your car, just look down at your phone and let Jack talk and don't pay attention to him.
Wow.
Okay.
You got through your wreck, you got through your talk, and I know you're experienced in that being the girl in that group that you described. You described it to a T. I wouldn't know about
Oh,
being that
Tommy,
girl.
I don't know why, but I missed you.
Jack, this is for you as a Truman. Whenever you're done this broadcast, watch it again and pay special attention to how we started out and what I said, and tell me you're not there. Tell me all of you aren't there.
Hey, Tom,
What
I don't have
I
to go
desire in
back.
my heart. Oh, I
Hey,
don't get to
Tom.
answer that question.
Feel free, please.
I wish the entire community got to sit in a big, auditorium, have a bowl of their favorite ice cream, be getting a BJ while I'm in a soundproof box being bled out to my death, while a TV shows you exactly what I've ever said, exactly my intention, and I can't hear or see the, oh, we were wrong, the apologies, and oh, wait, as we eat ice cream and get blowjobs, that's what's bleeding him in front of us because we just keep making fun of his trench coat.
Tom,
Your self-importance is off the chart, bro.
Explain it. Show me.
Joe.
Wow, y'all, that was
Yes, this is holy cows.
Just the thing where he put himself in the middle of this. Everyone watched him bleed out. He had this
Yep.
grandiose thing. It was just like,
Yep.
whew, wow.
It is insanity. We live, this world literally has normalized delusions.
I don't know if you
And-
noticed my new little subtitle, but I feel like that's what I offer. When people ask me what my channel's about, and there's absolutely no way to answer that cohesively in one sentence, I think I just found it.
Is your channel about farming?
Insanity
I learned
pimp,
about
if y'all
chickens.
can't read that.
No, but I have 3 chicken videos and 2. Yeah, no, it's not about farming, but I do have chicken videos.
I learned about chickens watching one of your videos.
Did you learn about them, or did you just kind of laugh
I
at my
learned that
blunders?
the certain amount of chicken with fair hair on his head is not good to eat.
That's not my channel. My channel's more about how my my chickens all got eaten by raccoons.
What? Oh no,
Yeah.
poor chickens.
I don't understand.
Tommy?
Hey, how about we were on a different topic before I made the choice to bring Tommy back. And I enjoy the topic we were on. It's about
Tommy needs to get laid again. That's what's going on.
Who would
Here.
sleep with Tommy? Who
Here.
in their right mind would think this guy's pretty normal?
hey, there's people for everything. There's everything for people. So this is a bizarre. This realm is very interesting. There's
Well,
someone
snafu
for
happened.
everyone.
Man, and there's a place for everybody.
Hey, there was something I was reminded of earlier. The idea that the balance between our intellect, our intelligence, and our logic, balancing that with the feelings, with the emotions.
Okay.
Something I think that has really been lost throughout our modern society is intuition. If we taught our children how to better intuit use their inner guidance to use their logic.
Yeah.
Intuition is where I think faith, right? Intuition and faith, the belief in things unseen.
With intuition, can we also call that discernment?
Somewhat. Discernment
You
mostly
can't. But
happens in the mind.
I was about to say, because one of those things was intelligence and intellect, and I forgot what the other one. You were saying
What's discernment?
that.
Well, discernment it's the intellect. It's using the logic and reasoning to go through the information and the data. But there's no separation between our thoughts and our feelings. Where the disconnect comes in, though, is understanding what it is we feel and what it is we perceive. Now, feelings, one of the things I've been in today's society, you got the poor who actually, in some cases, have a better life than some of the truly wealthy. Both are living in different levels of fear and anxiety, right? And so we've got a society where humanity has been separated. Mind and body are, dude, so far disconnected. If we unite them, if we start understanding our feelings within, we'll allow our intuition to guide us. And as we build, this is what I've been doing, honestly. And whether I'm right or wrong, it has created a more peaceful inner state, less anxiety.
I was just gonna say, it looked like you got feelings and intuition pretty close. All these things seem to be pretty close to each other.
Intuition is like that feeling within, and everything starts as a feeling. Our intuition, our inspiration, those things start as feelings. Even our desires start out as impulses. And it's through how we identify those feelings, how we identify the intuition. Is it guilt, or is it blame, or is it fear? Or, am I just unsure about what I can do or what's within me?
Right.
These lives are amazing gifts, and we only live right now. Right? And right now, today, I still got Tommy in the back. He's seeking more attention. I think Tommy and many other characters on these panels, I think they could benefit with a big hug. A little reassurance.
Well,
and it's and you know how you see people on here, and some people just on here doing one thing, and most people acknowledge to some degree it's a show. Tommy, I would assert, is very well aware that it's a show, maybe hyper so, to the point where he is pandering at all fucking times, in my opinion.
it's a community. But I want to go back to the discernment, because sometimes, like, I have these this notion to do something, and it doesn't always make sense. But I know if I'm hearing to do it, if I'm feeling to do it, I need to act upon it. Yeah. And then later, it makes sense why I did that.
I get that sometimes.
So I don't understand how y'all say it's analytical thinking, because some of the things that I do make no sense until later.
No. I'm sorry. I mean, if I can, his statement was most people are wisdom and analytical. The other people are emotion, and they need to get into intuition. He had named 3 things, and then they just end up pulling them all back together, and I didn't understand them, anyway.
Here's my concern with that description, Cynthia, is I know how the egoic mind works. And so what our mind will do is create excuses for why we did what we did instead of actual explanations. And that's why the difference, our today's society has us so focused on the past, we're really going through life without clarity. We're doing things without really knowing why we are doing what we're doing. But
Agreed.
it's kind of the mystery, in my opinion. This is kind of the mystery of life, is there is an intelligence and a force that moves us. And at some point we make choices, and I don't know how. I don't want to allow the details to make it seem more confusing, but
I get you. You don't want to say a certain word, and then we all hang on a fucking word, I think is what you're saying. Yeah.
correct. The main thing is what the thought I had this morning along the lines of intuition and the expression of feelings. Feelings are emotions. Emotions are energy, and that energy within us is intelligent. But the egoic mind contains the devil and the angel, right? Both the Antichrist and the Christ are whispering us solutions and answers and explanations. But the Christ is the pure one, the true one, the honest one, the forgiving one, the generous one. That is who we are, until we find an excuse to say why we're not.
I ain't gonna bullshit. Y'all fell off about me anyway, but
I love your honesty, Joe. And I know you do pay attention. Welcome, Hopkinson. And there has been support to return Tommy. But Nicole, you've been patient. You have thoughts or things to share?
Yeah, on insight and discernment, it can come from our intuition or our subconscious mind. Oftentimes that gets pushed to the back.
right on.
We're consciously going through life, but we want to try to balance the
Check
brain,
this out, Cynthia. I can
in
take your
both
shit
sides.
a step further. The subconscious is no respecter of time. So if the subconscious is going to create a thing, you can have the intuition, the feeling for it before it happens, because it is not a respecter of time. Intuition could be a real thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And interestingly enough, when I went to a spirituality and science convention, they had professors
Who
from
does that? All
from
right, go ahead.
at a Bon Buddhist retreat center, and they were Tibetan
This is getting better.
doctors. They were professors from Berkeley, UVA, and the University of Pennsylvania, and they had long and integrative studies how they discovered that expert meditators produced gamma waves in the brain.
This is the greatest story ever, Cynthia. I hate to interrupt
So
you, but it's like Tibetan monks, doctors, woo. This is the greatest fucking story.
it's a
And I
lot.
mean
It's
it
a lot of
sincerely. I'm
science
not
and
being
spirituality
sarcastic.
combined. Yeah.
This is great. Please.
So
Please. Go ahead.
so what they discovered is that when they were looking at the MRI and CAT scan studies of a expert meditator, they were able to balance the left and right hemisphere of their brain with the gamma waves, which synchronized both sides, their subconscious and conscious mind. And I thought to myself, well, if you can't be an expert meditator, you don't have the mindset to it or the time, can you not just listen to gamma wave sound healing? And
Take a shortcut.
that could be a shortcut to it in about a month's time. And I will say that when I worked with a stroke survivor, he had a brain bleed, and his doctor said he wouldn't walk again. And I suggested to his family, I said, why not just listen to sound healing for strokes and see what might happen as he's resting in the background? Well, he listened to it for a month, and then later on he went in to get an MRI, and they discovered that the bleed in his brain had dissipated, which
All
was the
right, all right.
first part of the
You
neurobiology
got
to
you got
heal.
more of these, like many more, right? Because just
Yeah.
that story alone, I would
Hey,
attribute.
dumbass, we're trying to listen.
So if we can listen to
Uh,
frequency, which is a kind of energy, and that can work on our bodies on a cellular level. We can produce a kind of healing that doesn't require operations, like opening the body and actually exposing it to microbes and germs and other things like that. It can actually be more effective in less time. So,
I
these
think
are
you.
things that
I
are
think
just very powerful.
I wanted more about the Tibetan monks, what they came up with. What I mean, the doctors and stuff.
Yeah.
Their conclusion was that alpha waves, if you listen to them, they are effective in healing. Yeah,
There are all different kinds of sound waves. There's
right on,
alpha,
right on. Okay.
beta, theta, epsilon, and gamma waves. But gamma waves was what they were discovering, what was synchronizing the left and right hemisphere of the brain. When we're talking
That's
about
just,
intuition, we're talking
uh,
about the subconscious and conscious mind combination.
There's
So, yeah.
I'll
there's
let it go, but I'm
also
a lot interested in that. I would love to know how they do it. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of very interesting things that have come out. The name Monroe Institute comes to mind, dealing with the binaural beats, the patterns of frequencies and sounds, how they affect the hemispheres of the mind.
Yeah.
And then there's also the Heart Math Institute, which is something that's modern today. They're doing a lot of cool studies, and this is the stuff that I think Joe Dispenza works with, is the Heart Math Institute, and they're having these seminars and bringing in group intentional healing, and friggin' miracles are happening through the power of mind and intention. And I know that's a little off from where Nicole started
That's
us with the
exactly what
frequency.
she was talking about. You're talking about the exact same thing because I want to ask you the same fucking questions about that shit. Go ahead.
It's fascinating, really,
Yeah,
Nicole.
and the Monroe Institute is not too far from where I live. And
Really,
the
See,
Tibetan
Jack face lit up, boy.
and the Tibetan monastery that I did my residency is not too far from where I live.
This is the
It's
greatest shit
so
ever. I did my
yeah.
Tibetan mine at the residency at a monarch. I'll never remember any of this shit. This is the greatest shit ever.
But yeah,
you can go back and re-listen.
it's really nice because you learn breath work that actually helps to move that life force energy
Yeah.
throughout your body. It gives you more energy to work with. We did guru yoga, we did dream yoga, we did a number of exercises that were taught by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. And Rinpoche is like a title, it's like means precious one, but he had taught that sangha there, and there were a number of monks that actually came in from Tibet during that time because they celebrated at that time their 25th anniversary of Ligmicha International. So when they did that, I actually helped to lay the foundation of a fire mandala that takes about a week to make. The monks have to prepare all the offerings first in the shrine room by hand, and then they lay the foundation, and then they build it. So they have a blueprint of a mandala, and they build it accordingly to like what the walls of that mandala look like. And by the time it's done, it's like 9 to 12 feet high, and it's got a pike on it with Tibetan prayer flags, and they're coming out with their instruments and, you know, offerings. It's very powerful. I mean, there was a green light that just shot from the fire all the way up to the sky from the time, you know, everything, putting that together. It was just an amazing experience. And it's a very rare event to actually see that. It's not something that they do very often, but it was a privilege to be a part of that.
That sounds beautiful.
It really was, you know, and they have a lot of wisdoms, and just even the way that they eat. They say eat seasonally, because the nutrients of the plants are, you know, evident where they are in season. So let's say in the winter, you're going to
Those
have
would be
a
the
lot of
nutrients you need.
the potatoes and the things that are buried underneath, right? And then in the spring, it's going to be those shoots that come out. In the summer, it's going to be the fruits from the trees, and, you know, the things that you can get. And doing that is allowing you to get the most nutrients from those plants and where
At
they
the
are.
times when you need
Amazing.
them, right? I'm
Yeah, at
assuming
times.
that you'll need more
Yes.
vitamin C when the orange juice season is. It's for you'll need more zinc when it's dark outside, and that whatever,
Yep.
blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's all, you know, based on that intuition. And it's, you know, something that we've kind of gotten away from, of having these like seasonal fruits all the time. But, you know, looking at it that way, there's a
Yeah.
lot of wisdom in that.
Yes. Yes. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
My man used to say, "Don't drink so much pineapple juice, Joe. That's medicine. It's supposed to be used. It's supposed to have a purpose. You can't just drink the shit like it's water." I thought that was interesting. That's a lot like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pineapple juice has bromelain in it, and it helps to reduce like sore throat problems and issues. And
Interesting.
so it has a certain acid that can help counter react to infections in the body.
Yeah, my woman tells me that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drink a lot of pineapple juice.
Hey,
It's got a lot of great benefits to it.
well,
This is
this is
stupid.
something, this entire world, it is full, so full of knowledge, so full of things that we can use to heal, to better, to improve our life and our and our experience. I was thinking about this earlier, though, how important that knowledge is, right? Someone
Oh,
doesn't
Yeah.
know what they can eat in, you know, if you don't know what is actually safe for you to consume, dude, humans will humans will do the stupidest things when we don't know. But I don't know, I'm getting off track. The point is where we're at today. I genuinely do hold a lot of hope and faith for the future. I do believe there's enough of us who have
You
traveled
must be the
through
eternal optimist. Let me put you some pushback on that. It hasn't happened in history. Why are you so optimistic?
history. Didn't have me.
Mhm.
I'm
That's
sorry,
why I'm
Tommy,
That's
for
so
calling you.
optimistic.
tell
I'm
me.
sorry
Hold
for
on. Tell
calling
me
you
again about the
egoic,
ego.
Tommy. Come on back up, Tommy. I was wrong. Jack took the title. You come back up.
Yeah. No, you just
My
beat the fuck
bad.
out of Tommy.
My
now
bad, Tommy. Not
you
so
do
bad.
win. Okay, you did win points, by recognize that, Joe. But just for Nicole, her name is Nicole, not Cynthia. You
Yeah, I was
laughed.
fucking
You
the name up.
laughed and
Yeah.
interrupted her like an inebriated buffoon. And JG was right to shut you up. I don't know why you got.
Oh, thank you for coming up here.
And
I'm so
everybody,
glad to
write
hear.
down that I said JG was right. You'll probably never hear that again.
Please be nice. I
I've
love
been
you
nothing but
guys.
nice, Jack.
At
Now,
least be
this
I
is what I got to
interesting.
tell
know
you.
you are.
I'm going
Actually,
to
you
tell you
are.
this and I'm going to leave, Jack.
No, you're not. No fucking chance.
Well, this is what I'm mad about. That once again, Joe, like the time you
I
called me a
got a
racist
few.
nigger, I got backstage, and you said specifically, I don't like to talk about Tom when he's not here to defend himself, but 20 minutes of he's a racist nigga. While I was sitting backstage, unable to defend myself, unable to tell you how you're wrong, that me
Yeah, you
bleeding
want
out.
to do it now? You want to do it now?
No, I'm going to do it on a video that Jack snapped
All right,
backstage. And the key with you and Moose and a couple people is there's things I must find. I can't make the video and be like, I needed that segment in there. I'm going to get your OTW
You
thing
don't
where
have
you...
to waste time with the threats. It's nonsense and it bores me. I guess it's for the audience. That's what I mean.
No,
You're
the
pandering.
threat was, I know why you don't hit me up when you're in Denver, and you're right not to do that. I'm telling you, I'm going to show you yourself on YouTube.
It's boring. I hope you
sit on
guys enjoy this. Go ahead. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't.
pass it off.
Yeah,
Pass
no,
it
nobody
off like
enjoys it.
you said, I'm just here for attention. Pass it off
he's
like
mad.
Cynthia just playing the he needs to get laid card when I could never
That
get
was
laid
my
again and
card.
not touch her
I
fat
didn't
ass.
say that.
Hey,
Oh.
Tommy, prove what I said about you must be the center of attention. You must be talking to the conversation about me.
Why do you think this is for my attention?
Prove me wrong.
Who
I
the
don't have
hell
my
else
camera on,
attention
do
could
I?
it possibly be?
Is this good attention I'm seeking? Do I want to be online telling you you're a punk ass bitch?
You must want to.
No,
because you're
I was
doing it.
talking to you, Jack, and you turned your camera off. Hey, Joe, I'll get to you when I have time. Jack, you literally took everything like we'd start as we do. We always start excellent. You get the crowd raving. You find your ego reason to get pissed at me. But today, Jack, today at the beginning of season 4, you backstaged me and you said as serious as fucking day, this guy is fucking insane. Who does that, Jack? Who else did that? Where do you think you learned that from?
I say that 12 times a day.
I'm not insane, dude.
Yeah,
why the fuck would you try and say I'm clinically insane for telling you that you're fucking up like a lowlife?
You've heard that like 3 times a day, right? Why is
No,
that such
this
a big
is
deal?
gaslighting, dickhead. It's you would rather not hear how you're fucking up your life and just get the whole crowd to pass me off as crazy.
Okay.
No, fuck
Yes.
you. I'll bring you down if you hit me up in Denver, you punk
Yeah.
ass. What you guys don't get
Tommy is
is
really
you come to
upset.
Denver and do your charity and stuff. If I were to walk out front of my building right now and say, hey, these people are laughing at my trench coat, traffic would stop and be like, who's making fun of your trench coat, son? We've had a problem with that in this state. Are you laughing?
Who was wearing a trench coat? And
The 2 boys that put the mass bang bangs on the map, you stupid bitch.
Tom.
Fuck you, Jack. You'll see my fucking
what
shit.
is wrong
you
with
fucking
you, Tommy?
suck. All
For
of
the
you fucking suck.
What
Lucko
is
dear.
wrong with him? Why is he so angry?
There's a
Why
lot
so
of bitterness.
angry?
There's a lot of bitterness and hurt that's being shared. Hey, Flo, what is it you got loaded for us? You got something, or that's not you. It is you. You're muted, brother.
You're muted, dude.
It's just an interesting story about monks in Thailand.
You gonna make my day if he telling the truth.
What is
Holy
wrong? You're
cows.
what? Nicole, I appreciated your story. I don't
I'm
know.
not trying to detract from the story. It just reminded me of this awesome article I saw, so I just wanted to share. I just wanted to share my joy with you all. Why do you have to poo-poo on it?
Okay. You're right.
Oh my goodness! I just read the title.
Hey, there is corruption
That was
and
funny. That was
foolishness in all realms of this society. But think about it in the greater picture, right? Imagine that there is a divine intelligence that has brought forth the space for time and form to interact. And so imagine if this loving creator who is with us all, it's playing this game, it's revealing this game of life for us, through us, as us, so that, why? I think it's so we can figure out who we are.
Um,
That's,
you
Yeah.
know, someone said something to me after the wreck. They said things happen for you, not to you.
Very
And
good. I've heard that too.
that's the way I'm looking at things. Like I'm really having to change my mindset and realizing this isn't the end of the world. You know, yes, I spent 5 hours on the phone with insurance people, but I got everything taken care of. It was a pain in my butt to deal with, but I'm thankful that I know how to deal with it. I'm thankful that I'm able to. And so that's something I've had to really work on is things are for me, are happening for me, not to me.
and that's tough to remember when things we've worked for, things we appreciate and we're proud of, when they
Yeah.
disappear, like your vehicle or like a job
At that
or a
moment, yeah,
career.
you don't feel like this happened for me, Joe. This is for you,
Yeah,
Joe.
it's tough to remember sometimes,
It
but
is.
it is a true, it is a fact, it is a truth. And
Yeah.
for us to deny the truth that these challenges, these, the opposition, the adversaries, those things that come into our life are there to strengthen us. The key, the key for us though, for maturity, for, I believe, for enlightenment, it's it's to walk away, to discard the things that no longer serve, the things that are no longer good.
In
And
some ways, yeah.
that requires self-control. Sorry to keep going, but
No, you good.
self-control from the pitfalls of temptation.
Yeah.
It's scriptural, it's spiritual, it is eternal truth that we get to fight, we get to ignore. We can pretend that the world isn't the way it is. We can pretend we're not who we are or how we are. But maturity and peace, it comes from acceptance.
I want to ask
From,
another one of them stupid questions, man, and I want the panel
please.
to answer. All right. All right, and Flo, is Flo still here?
Yeah, I'm
I
here.
think so. Yeah.
All right. So we'll start off with Flo, but I want everybody to answer it. Flo, I was shut up. Wait. I was thinking about how evil I am to participate in this society. In this society where if I run a red light, you've given some armed man a permission. If I don't pay his fee, whatever he thinks it is, I say, no, fuck you. He can beat me, tase me, or my mom, pull me out the car, blah, blah, lock me up, take my car, all of these things. I feel like this is these evil society. And I got a million more things to talk about. But you see where I'm going with that shit. Society is evil. I'm about to go to the forest and fucking give me a lot of land and move over there and build my own shit. What do you think? You want to come join me?
Fuck yeah. Look, if you've got the land, I can build us some compound. Like I don't have.
I
to, like,
thought you was. I love society type. That's why I started with you. Shit.
No, I mean like so. There's a logical inconsistency here, which is how the fuck are you going to get away from society when that's all owned by society? Like
yes, it seems hard to overcome, and
there's no place on earth where you can legally live without having to pay to live there annually.
Yes, and that's part of. I'm glad you brought that up. Flo, wait, no. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. You're right. It doesn't appear there's any place that we can legally live, that isn't owned by someone. So it looks like God. I hope you believe in God with me. A piece of this land is ours. We're gonna go claim it away from anybody else. Fucking natural so and so. We're gonna claim us some land. We're gonna take it. Anybody come try to take it from us, we're gonna bring our guns and our friends and protect our shit. What do you think, Flo? You still in with me?
I just want to tell my agent that I'm not bringing any guns. I'm not around any guns. There's none within the vicinity. even when I go live with Joe, unless I make
Right,
some.
right. But are you
But
coming to the compound? We got to
well,
defy these
so
motherfuckers,
I
Flo.
think that even though we're probably still going to have to pay property taxes on the compound, that's unavoidable, and it still seems like an upgrade from being
Just
more in society.
from being more or getting more from what?
From it still seems like a good deal, even though I think we're still going to have to pay property taxes.
I caught that part. I think
Yeah,
that's interesting. I'm
I mean,
Jack. What do you think, Jack? I'm not going to pay my taxes next year. What do you
well, then
think?
they're going to take away the compound really quick. Like, you gotta be smart, not stubborn.
I got to leave. I cannot participate with these guys that think they're evil. I got to leave, Flo. I got to
Okay.
leave.
How about this? I encourage those who can and maybe have the connections, the resources to leave society and detach to go do it.
Right,
But
right.
recognize that in one aspect, it's putting your head in the sand. It's pretending
Very
that
good. Very good.
No,
Go ahead.
Joe, can I pose that this goes back to a question that everybody asks about Moses?
Go ahead.
Was Moses a murderer for killing the Egyptian?
All right, what's the definition of murder here? Because the easy, quick answer is yes. So I think we're about to hang on a definition here.
Well, murder means you premeditated someone's death, a wrongful death. You know, you didn't have an accusation against them. You murdered them. You just hated them.
if you end a life,
Probably.
Yes, he
No,
murdered
no,
him.
no.
yeah.
Yes, Moses
If-
was a murderer.
So,
Well, then if them cops pull you out of your car, I mean, they're in their empire, they're in their kingdom, and they're beating.
well, hey, John,
That's
this is where you and I are going to disagree, because I've been trying to figure out your perspective, where you're coming from. I thought we had disagreements, but in a different place.
not
I heard
talking
you
about-
talking about God. What you're doing right here, though, is you're imagining an us and them, and this us and them justifies murder and oppression to some. And I don't believe there's any justification for us to rise up in violence.
Hey, you think that's what he was going with the Moses analogy?
Well, he was saying the cop is living in the realm of those who.
Oh, I blinked out. He said something about a cop. I missed it. My internet did that weird thing when he was talking.
I'm just saying, you know, people that Joe's saying, are we evil for participating while cops are beating?
Right.
No, and that's what Moses had to look at.
While participating while cops are what?
Are beating people, you know, perhaps your
Okay,
mother
right,
because you ran a red light. And
I don't understand how you're comparing Moses to.
Yeah, that was my next question.
to
How does
God.
that compare
how
to
are
Moses?
you
Yeah.
relating those two, because
Moses, he killed the Egyptian because he was watching someone get beat to death.
It doesn't sound like it's murder. It sounds like it's justified. The justification, I mean,
That's the
justified
question I was
killing is
asking.
not murder, but the question would be then, when is something justified or not? And it sounds, I mean, in my opinion, if you're saving a life, then you're justified in killing the attacker if that's what is necessary.
That's I'm saying the age-old question: was it justified or was it murder? And that's what Moses always gets the murder rap.
Well, how many people did he kill?
one. He killed
What about
the one
the
Egyptian.
Nile?
Then no, not that. Then when he come down off that mountain, he slayed everything in sight, right?
Before
Oh,
he
that's
left for the valley, before he left for his 40-year journey, the reason he left Egypt is he killed an Egyptian. And the next day he went to go talk to some Egyptians who were fighting, who were arguing amongst each other. And they said, shut up. We saw you kill the Egyptian last night. And then that's when he ran away.
Kill or murder
those
those people.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
murder
But
or
I'm
kill.
talking about
Here.
after he received the. I'm sorry, when he received the tablets and he came down off
Yeah.
the mountain and they had the calf. He killed hundreds of thousands
yeah.
of motherfuckers.
That's a different time.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I was talking
Well,
about
Are we trying to
the one
find
time he killed that
excuses
guy
for?
innocently.
Are we trying to find excuses for murder? I mean, that sounds like what we're
No,
debating. And
I mean, I don't need an
personally,
excuse. I'll just do what I want.
personally, let's.
I was just trying to just address Joe's conscience towards the
Yeah,
situation we're in. You know what
I
I mean?
appreciate mental
Okay, well,
exercises. I don't have a problem with it, just so you know.
here, let me bounce in here with a couple of things along those lines because I agree with what New Guru offered back here. The pattern, number one, default is peace. It truly is peace. When there's not movement and conflict, peace is. So the pattern, the default pattern is peace. Then the ego comes in. Desire this, desire that, solve this, solve that, formula that. Discord to remind us our focus is out of whack. The resolve, let it go, man.
And
Let
peace is
it
back.
go, and peace is back, right? And then
Yes.
in lines with my comment here earlier, it's a little.
Can I chime in on
really
Guru before you read your comment? Can I chime in on Guru? I think that that could apply to you, Jack. Let it go, and peace is back. I think you don't find peace on these panels until you can let it go. You got to be able to let niggas the way Tommy abuses me and don't trigger me. I got peace there because I let it go. You got to find a way to let it go.
At the same time, like, yeah, I agree with all that, but at the same time, it's worth pointing out that we should not have peace and content with just letting the whole stream get pulled down into the abyss with Tommy because he's spurging the fuck out.
Hey,
I would agree with that.
Amen. And the greater picture, right? I think we're seeing the systems of government and economics. I think we're seeing the corruption and the crumbling, the destruction of what could be really well. We can turn away from the problems, or it is my desire. It is my.
You're
hope.
right, Jack. I have a problem you need to turn back to, though, is Tommy, because Tommy was on the other broadcast earlier, right? And somebody over there was complaining about how Jack has monetization and how Jack has advertisements. So do you know what Tommy did today? He came over here and he said the N-word. You know what that does? When they go through your channel, now they're going to make it so you can't monetize the stream tonight.
He
And
said
so I
that
just
every
want
time
to
he see
point that
me, though,
out.
most just so you know, everywhere he sees me, everywhere, with no matter what room, he ends up saying that shit as quick as he can, like he can't wait to get it out. It's really weird. It's everywhere. I don't think he's just focusing on Jack.
Okay, but I do think he came here with the intention of messing it up on purpose.
That's totally feasible and totally likely.
I do think that is an intent. When you do that on here, that's an intentional. I don't know if he came here with that intention, but definitely he used that with the intention. I would say that's a safe assumption.
He, for whatever reason, I mean, there's something within a person. This shows a mental illness. I don't know how to, maybe a more polite way of saying it, but for a white man to get off on running around and offering that word,
I don't think that you heard Moose though, and I agree with Moose.
Yes.
It was an attack at you, not so much at Joe. Joe was sort of trapped, a bystander.
So this is the issue that is kind of like the thing, like people like Tommy and other people, like I was saying from the streets, like they don't know how to turn it off. Like that's truly how Tommy thinks and talks. That's truly how the guy works with him. He doesn't know how to turn it off. And
I don't really believe that either. I think that I think that he's intentional with it.
No, their minds are
even better.
We can't think that they process things in a healthy, functional way when we see.
I didn't say that, but it's rational.
Is it? But
yes.
To them, this is normal behavior. No, I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just saying some people just don't know how to turn it off.
Why do you think that he doesn't know how to turn it off? He turns it off all the time. He uses it. The way when he uses that, it's in an intentional and an effective manner. You got pissed at Jack for being backstage.
You guys are both very, very accurate. Both of you are.
Yeah, it's good shit.
You don't hear him dropping it places where it does not benefit him or by harming the person that he's mad at.
Dope.
it's a learned behavior. And I think that's what Cynthia is saying, is it's a pattern that they've learned
Is it
how to
mental health
use,
though?
and
Is
it
it a
turns
mental
on.
health
Well,
misfire?
here's where the mental health condition comes in, the belief of delusions, the belief that they're not causing problems, that their behavior is appropriate when it's clearly
Guys,
unhelpful, unhealthy.
it's definitely inappropriate. That's exactly
Yeah.
why he's doing it. It's strategic. This is not only not mental
Yeah.
illness, it is exactly perfect tactics. And blaming it on like he doesn't know better. And I'm not saying you're doing this intentionally, just but like that helps enable him to continue to run this game on people.
You're
Agreed.
speaking very clearly, fucking Flo.
This is an
Like,
opportunity
sometimes-
for us
No
to
room
help
for nothing
educate.
else. It's very clear.
And again,
sometimes
Cynthia, I wasn't
people-
trying to come at you, but like it just
Yeah.
circumstantially it was going to happen.
Sometimes people, when they're backed into a corner or they're frustrated, like they don't process things.
And I'm
Right.
telling
Yeah,
you
but
that
yeah,
if
but
you
Tommy's not backed into a corner. Tommy's
Right,
not
if
backed
you-
into a corner. He's welcomed back after being given forgiveness time and time again. Just like Nubs, just like many other people out there, he does not come here with the intent to help Jack. He comes here, fakes Jack out, and then just completely takes it down
All right.
a dark path.
I was with Flo. Now I think I'm going to be with the lady a little bit.
Okay.
Wait. His sensitivity level is so high that he interprets a lot of shit as being backed into a corner that normal people don't see.
Correct.
And he is responding to that shit.
Correct, but that's
And
a
you're
separate
white shield,
issue.
Flo.
That's a
Yeah,
separate
you're
issue
right still. Yeah.
from using the N-word, right?
Yes, and if he don't go around doing that shit, if I'm not some black motherfucker on stage, like you say, he clearly targets the raise or the whatever what buttons he's trying to push, he targets that person intentionally.
Right.
That's a little bit more than just.
But I don't think he's racist. I don't think it's racism showing itself.
Yeah.
What it is,
Jack, sorry.
I don't think it's racism
Here.
showing itself for the sake of racism, but I think racism is clearly revealed as a byproduct.
Because it's effective.
It creates a reaction, and the ego, the juvenile, immature, illogical ego wants attention, whether it's good or bad. It's just like a grown child.
Well, Jack, if you don't have enough ego, then you end up letting people like this back on to do it again tomorrow.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Okay. So what if he lacks empathy? And so
that's part of it.
can we fault someone for not being empathetic how can we fault somebody for not feeling like they don't feel? Like you heard the story where he came up and he was the center of the story. Like he doesn't understand empathy. He doesn't.
What do you think, Flo? I'm interested.
I don't necessarily have a lot of empathy relatively, I don't think, or I've been accused of, but I don't know. Like you don't, there's other ways to get to the end, right? Like, what is it that you want out of an interaction? Why are you on a panel at all? That's why I asked him, what are you trying to do? Because you come up here and immediately start going after everybody and you won't shut the fuck up. It's like you're trying to get yourself kicked out. But then when you do, you cry about getting kicked out. So
sorry, Flo. You were getting to a point. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I kind of hit the point is that I don't think empathy is necessary. I think empathy gets more lip service than it deserves just by everybody, really. Because
sometimes tolerance can be enabling. Someone in the chat said that, and I agree.
That's where
with
Flo going. Yeah,
there is a way, though. Our society has people are so focused on either blaming or avoiding blame, but we don't have to blame. There can be corrections and assigning responsibility, helping bring awareness to the problem. And so people like Tommy, I've been trying to get Tommy and Paul. They are so similar in their behaviors. They feel like they're backed in a corner. They're lashing out at anybody who comes near, especially anyone who's kind to them. Holy shit, they deserve the worst.
I think that Tommy is an order of magnitude better than Paul. I'm just going to throw that out there for him. But I understand what you're comparing.
There's similarities. But you know what? We all have the potential to behave like illogical, selfish children, lashing
Right
out
on.
at
Right.
each other.
Right.
It's a matter of timing, and I do believe
It's a
we can.
matter. All right, all right. We're gonna go back in circles with the empathy thing, but I was gonna say a lot of it is a matter of self-control. How important is it to you to control yourself to achieve these things? He just don't give a fuck, man.
Well, how important is it to avoid blame though? Like, 'cause who gives a fuck? Y'all can blame me for everything. It doesn't
Yes,
matter.
yes,
Yeah. So,
yes.
but I
Fucking
agree. It is very important that people not be blamed for shit, and it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. Hey, I don't mean to be the guy, but I am that guy. We're a couple hours in.
You be that motherfucker, however you want.
We're a
It's the
couple hours
first-
in. I feel like wrapping up, so please, wherever.
first panel I'll be done in a week. I got back, so yeah, I didn't do no panel. My internet was shitty up there,
Can we?
I feel
do you
honored.
feel like discussing empathy at all first? Because I'm kind of stuck in my head on empathy and why it's not as useful as because
It is useful.
I
hear me out.
agree.
Empathy requires you to put yourself in another person's shoes, which is projection, right? It's imagination. You don't actually know how that person.
Okay, so
feels.
like I was just
Let
talking
me
about,
finish.
okay.
Wouldn't you be better off instead of trying to be empathetic? Wouldn't you be better off just listening?
why the need for the empathy part? Why not? Yes, why do the empathy if you could just understand?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
So in order to understand, I need to put myself in that person's because
But if theoretically you could take it out.
I'm going to use Jack for an example. Being we're both middle-aged, we're both young middle-aged, right, Jack? And so, but I'm a Latina woman, whereas he is a Caucasian male, and we both view drinking differently. So I can't talk to Jack and be like, oh, he drinks. I can't deal with that. Like I have to understand, okay, this is something that a battle he dealt with. I need to think about that. So I need to be careful when I talk about alcohol. I need to be careful. I'm going to invite Jack out, but it's worth
You
going
can understand that without empathy, though, right? You're saying
no,
you
but I
cannot
need
understand
to
that without empathy.
understand what triggers him. But I need to
all you need to do
understand
is
that
listen
not
to
to
him.
put him in that situation and not to even be that temptation for him.
All you have to do is respect people's statements to you. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to agree with it. If you have that level of respect, then how you understand it doesn't matter at all.
That is so true, man. I don't know if we should kill empathy, but the logic is fucking sound. You achieve the same goal.
Yeah, but
empathy is just it's an emotional intelligence you should have.
Yeah,
you try to learn.
I have to feel it. I feel it. I can talk to somebody and feel when they're in pain. And if I feel that you're in pain because I felt it, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to handle you differently.
What happens if you don't feel it? Do you ignore my words then?
No, I don't. But who walks around talks about they're in pain? We live in a society where everything's perfect. We have to be perfect. But
Maybe your interpretation of the words aren't as good unless you've been in those shoes. Maybe you can never achieve the proper interpretation
I'm
of
not
those
saying
words.
empathy is useless. I'm just saying it's not required. All that's required is respect for other people's wishes.
That's what I'm trying to wonder. I'm trying to wonder if when you go about trying to respect a person, I wonder if you can do it properly without having been in their shoes. I wonder, are the two linked?
Let me jump in here, please, because there's a real distinct connection and difference between empathy and understanding. I went to Google and there's offered a nice explanation. Empathy looks to have one align with the feelings of another, which is what we've been talking about. Whereas understanding looks to have one align themselves with a set of knowledge. So putting yourself in the other person's shoes, looking at the same facts and information with an understanding of their perspective, whereas empathy may bring that greater emotional, connection and a deeper understanding of what someone is experiencing. So
But
there's
it may also be deceptive.
yes, and that was where I
Joe
wanted to
talks over
caution.
Nicole. I say, "Shut up, Joe." That's empathy right there, because you're cutting her off, and that's rude.
I don't
Well,
listen to it because I just assume this cat's being rude again.
this was the distinction or the caution I wanted to offer Cynthia or others, right? Is the consequences. How do we respond? How do we react when we do understand another? Do we
Right.
need to censor ourselves? Do we need to censor others? I
Right.
don't think
Okay.
that's the best in most cases.
Now, Jack, we're going to come back to biblical on how we respond to that. That's
All right.
where we come back. Do I? It's not even censor myself. I adjust myself to react accordingly, not what's in the best.
Very
interest
good.
of me,
Not censor,
Okay.
adjust. Very good.
not
I-
in the best for me, but in best for the brother that I love, my neighbor.
Respect. I can see
But
that.
how do you
And adapt.
when your empathy is at conflict with the information that neighbor is giving you,
Ooh,
how do you
then what?
prioritize that situation?
I go
Mhm.
with my empathy.
And
I
that's
go-
why
No, you
that's
go
the
with
I
fucking
go with
problem.
my empathy.
Exactly.
Okay.
But so
I-
you're taking that in the sense like somebody is going to tell me something, a soft story, but they're really trying to connive me,
If I
and my
I'm thinking,
empathy is
like,
going to let me know
hypothetically,
that.
if I tell you to leave me alone, but you insist on continuing to help me with something, anything, then you're
Yes.
not helping me. You're disrespecting me because you're projecting your own feelings onto my situation.
No, but then I'm going to go with
I
my
do
empathy.
that all the
I'm going to
time.
leave you alone for that moment, and I'm going to adjust my approach to you. I'm
So
going to
you're
monitor you. I'm going to monitor you and to see when you're at your peaceful moments, and I'm going to adjust my approach to make connection with you again.
So you're not actually going to leave me alone. You're just going to be more strategic in your approach.
Yes, absolutely.
right.
Because
And
I
which is-
know that you need it, and even if you don't
Which is
understand that you need it,
insanely arrogant of you. You understand
No,
how
it's
arrogant
Wait,
that is.
I mean, that wasn't
wait.
disrespectful, bro. Relax. That was.
I'm
no,
not
no, no,
being-
no.
I'm
It's
not-
not
no, I'm
arrogant.
not. I
I
don't
know
mean
that
it.
you think it's arrogant, and I can understand why
I-
you think that's arrogant. But in times when people are in the midst of a storm, they can't see past the storm. And when
That's
people
true.
are outside of the storm, they can
That's-
see that it's going to calm
She
down.
had an argument, but I
She
don't
does,
know. Go
but at the
ahead.
same point, if you're
Yeah.
outside of the storm, you very likely don't know the whole storm.
That's a good
Absolutely.
argument.
But a
too.
storm
That's
is a
true.
storm. I can
Both
see
of
you're in
these two are
chaos.
good. Here, can I love the debate. You two are both very accurate, and you both play the adversary and opposer very well.
Both good
Um,
Satans.
no, particularly in the realm of thought. I love the conversations. Here's something if I can jump in though, between what Flo is saying and Cynthia, the caution that what we need to be careful of in our imaginations and placing ourselves in the shoes of another is enabling. People want sympathy for their trauma, and they want to feel like, oh my God, you're a hero for what
So
you're
they're
suffering
listening.
through.
They are slickly eliciting fake empathy. That's where
Yeah.
you're going with this shit. This shitty person. Yeah. Or
Well,
twisted person.
and I think to be authentic,
Fucking
we can
Benton
understand.
JA.
I think to be authentic, we can empathize and understand like Cynthia is offering, but we truly do. We've got to allow the facts to be more important than the feelings.
Right.
I think so.
When we
It's important,
prioritize
man.
empathy, it appears to me, I'm not going to soften it. People who prioritize empathy end up doing things like if I were killed, if I were shot to death, and somebody tried to implement more gun control in my
Exactly.
honor, they
Right,
are
exactly.
not honoring my wishes. But I guarantee
Yes.
they feel like they're doing what's right,
They-
regardless.
Right.
They are. They are empathetic as fuck. Yes.
Yeah, it's over empathy, and it's not what I want. So
And someone's using it strategically, like we just talked about, because he
Yep.
knows how soft niggas is.
So
Yep.
It's been
Flo said-
weaponized.
An empathetic person
God.
would be empathetic towards how you died, and they would never approach your daughter with that.
My daughter.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever the story you just gave.
If I'm shot to death, I still don't want more gun control. So anybody trying to implement gun control in my honor, knowing
Right.
that I'm a gun advocate, would not be honor. It'd be going against my wishes out of their empathy.
And if you went with the facts, you wouldn't see no logic in I'm gonna take motherfuckers' guns because dude got killed. That is all that empathy,
yeah.
emotional bullshit.
Ooh.
We're
no.
not. We don't make better
I love
decisions
this.
when we're emotional. Like that's just
Clearly, I don't even
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
I delay them when I'm emotional, intentionally.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wise. That's wise.
You have to wait 72 hours to make a decision when your emotions are gone.
Well, or get control of your emotions in a shorter time period. That's what I started
practice
doing.
that. Practice
Hey.
that, bro.
I
That's
like-
how you
yep.
move around, baby.
Jack's on the
I
point.
need
Get
to
that left
process
brain in
my
there.
emotions. sometimes.
Miss what you said, Flo. What?
I said, way to use that left brain, Jack.
Well, this actually I did. This is the path of development I discovered in myself. I'm strong. I've got a strong mind. Stubborn, but it's pretty decent. I allowed my logic and reasoning to literally drive me nuts. I mentioned the book, and I haven't read the book, but from Dostoevsky.
Yeah.
His observation on the basement man, the guy who
Man, you got to get that motherfucker out of there. What's he doing down there?
I used to live like that with such judgment and contempt at the rest of the world. It was miserable. But guys, I learned now. I found enough information to use logic and reasoning to convince me beyond a doubt of God and God's presence in our life. And so logic and reasoning first drove me mad, but it became my path to freedom.
I don't know that that's a congruent thought you just did there. So I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with the conclusion you drew.
Fair enough. Hey, let's wrap it up then, please. Okay. Final words. Do you feel well, the topic is finding better. Does anyone feel better, feel complete in the discussions of empathy and what was the other? Oh, understanding.
I could feel more complete, I could feel more complete if it went on longer, but I also recognize that, I'm content with the amount of time.
Yeah, we pulled out a small victory. I was thinking the same thing on the contentment thing with that little time that we were given. Yes. Because I am so good at it, and I intentionally guide the conversation there. And I
you know what? I've seen you driving that thing with no power steering, and it was pretty good.
I'm joking. Good job, guys.
Cynthia, do you admit that empathy is overrated?
Thank you.
You're muted. You're muted. You can just tap out. Just tap your hand 3 times.
No, I don't think that. Hang on. My security team. Hang on.
That's all right.
I'm just gloating. So I'm just talking shit.
Listen, I my empathy and my discernment have brought me too much joy for me to ever turn my back on it. So great panel today, Jack, other than Tommy, of course. But thank you for allowing me up. I haven't been by. Wizard came over there and trolled me last night. And I was like, you know what? Everybody's getting trolled over here today by me. You were the guy today. Because I'm never going to that other panel. I don't give a fuck what happens. You could say,
what
did
did
that
happen?
panel for $1 million and I'll never do it. I don't give 2 shits about that dare.
And I have empathy for your situation there. I don't know what it is.
All right.
But
thank you, Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia, you should get a emotional intelligence book. Read up on emotional intelligence, Cynthia.
Daniel Goldman.
Thank you,
So
JV.
I appreciate it, Jack, Flo, Joe, everybody. Nice talking to you.
Respect. Good to see you again. What's up, Cynthia? Flo, respect. Thank you for joining. JG, I threw you in the back. Did you have any final words before I rudely throw you in the back again?
No, I was just saying, Cynthia, she should read up on emotional intelligence.
I heard that. All right, brother. Thank you. Actually, emotional intelligence is a topic that many, many people could probably benefit from. Nude Guru, thank you for seriously, many of you in the chat. Some days it turns into like this friggin' dysfunctional, combative, I don't know, arena in the chat. And every time I look, I'm just getting confused. And, you know, today there was a lot of contributions and some pretty cool community, I feel, from what I saw. And I want to thank you, brothers and sisters, all of you who did join the panel, including Illumitami, What's Up, Cynthia, JG, Flow State, Moose, Joe Cool. I'm sure there may be more. All of those who join in the chat today, please remember, seriously. Oh, wow. Hey, you know what? I love that observation. Our poll, love was chosen today. I think love was offered today. Love was shared today. And I hope you in the chat, you who may view this at a later time, I hope you receive some of the love today. Some of the ideas of, well, creating a better you, finding a better way to understand, to empathize, not only with others, to understand yourself. It's okay to empathize with yourself. It's okay to allow yourself some compassion when you're facing these challenges, when, you know, scary times in your life. Cynthia went through something that could be substantially life-changing. These accidents and these events that happen in our lives, sometimes they can be a real wake-up call, kind of a reminder for us of what is important. And brothers and sisters, don't allow a loss of someone you care about, something you treasure. Don't allow that loss to be your reminder, your wake-up call of how much you appreciate those things, those people. Because this is your life. This is your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It only lasts a lifetime, but this is your once-in-a-eternal opportunity to create and discover you, the best you, the greater you, the better you. It's there waiting to emerge. You just got to ask the questions. What do I want? What does my heart want me to do? And with that, until next time, please consider those words. Consider sharing the stream, inviting others to subscribe, join the next notification. And till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again. God bless.